I know the torment of this restless mind. I know how your thoughts spin endlessly during the early hours of the morning, searching for solutions to problems that haven't even knocked on your door yet. I heard the silent cry of your inner exhaustion. Today, I have come to teach you exactly how to release this burden that is crushing your spirit. But before pouring this profound peace upon you, I want to acknowledge who this beloved daughter is who seeks me. Write in the comments your name, your city, your state, your country, and the exact time my embrace found you. Make this small gesture an altar and declare with all your strength, Lord, my God, I am here. I signed up because I love you and want to hear you. If you feel my restorative touch, remain with me until the end. Confirm your registration, leave your sign of approval, and activate the celestial alert. I say this because at the end of today's journey, I will whisper a unique and powerful phrase to your heart. And whoever writes this phrase in response will receive extraordinary prophetic blessings that I have already released in heaven. The invisible weight you carry on your shoulders was not made for your back. The knot that tightens your throat and the anguish that makes your chest ache are the fruits of trying to carry the world alone. I feel when your strength fades just from trying to imagine what could go wrong tomorrow. You have fought immense battles in the field of your mind, trying to find light where there is only fog. It happens that your human wisdom has limits, while my provision is infinite and eternal. You know that deep weariness that burns in your eyes after crying so much inside without anyone noticing. I want to wash away and purify that pain right now. If you feel that this encounter has already begun to warm your heart, share this message with another soul who also suffers in the dark and in silence. Leave your like as living proof that your faith has awakened. Now answer me from the depths of your sincerity. What is the exact worry that most suffocates your hope at this moment? Put that out there and write the word relief in the comments. However, there's a root to all this fear of tomorrow, a dangerous illusion that has been sucking away your joy and needs to be completely revealed before your miracle arrives. The illusion that holds you back is believing that if you think enough about the problem, you'll find the perfect solution. I know the weight of that deception. I feel your distress when your chest races and your breath becomes short in the middle of the night, while you try to find a logical way out of your family's problems, your bills, or that seemingly endless cycle of pain. You try to anticipate every move and protect everyone, as if you were the master of time. But my daughter, trying to predict every storm only drowns you before the first drop of rain even falls. I feel how your spirit awakens exhausted in the morning, as if you hadn't slept, because your mind spent the whole night fighting in a future that doesn't even exist. Remember what I taught you. Do you know that suffocating feeling of suffering over something that hasn't even happened yet? Losing the small spark of joy that remains in today. Abandon that control. Let me take the lead. It is written in the Gospel of Matthew chapter 6, verse 34. Therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. I declare this over you now, because I know how much you hurt yourself trying to carry a burden I didn't ask you to carry. The truth, however, is that divine peace doesn't come from having all the detailed answers in your mind, but from knowing who holds your life in His hands. Can you admit, just to me, that you can no longer bear being the unshakable fortress for everyone around you? Reveal this outpouring in the comments through a single word: rest. For that is exactly what I pour over you now. If this breath of relief has touched your soul, confirm your place under my grace with your inscription. Like this message, so that my comfort may gain strength, and be the bridge to that relief by sending these words to someone who lives enslaved by their own mind. Even so, there is a subtle step your soul needs to take, a mystery about true surrender that can completely transform your financial and emotional reality today. A profound movement of gratitude that opens the heavens, and that I need to reveal to you now. Do you know that turbulent field where your mind struggled for so long searching for answers? I wish to transform that exhausted soil into a garden of profound serenity. If your spirit felt the relief of this embrace, and you wish to transform this gratitude into a visible gesture of love for me and for Jesus, I invite you to plant a seed of support for this channel. You can support this work through the path I have prepared in the description and in the first pinned comment. Don't worry about values or grandeur. Give only what overflows from your soul with joy. What the world calls little, I transform into inexhaustible provision for those who need to hear my voice. If your sincere heart decides to support this mission, I ask that you record your name and city along with your gesture of affection. When the first day of next month dawns, in a special and sacred meeting here on the Divine Love, the Voice of God channel, your name will be remembered and blessed in a prayer of gratitude, for it is written in 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 10. Now he who supplies seed to the sower and bread for food will also supply and increase your store of seed and will enlarge the harvest of your righteousness. No seed of faith that falls on this soil will fail to bloom. I contemplate what you do in the silence of your room, and I will pour out my reward upon your life so that all may see. And even if the world raises obstacles, bringing bank blocks to your first attempt at contributing, do not let that steal your peace. I know the bright truth of your intention. Contact whoever manages your card. Let them know that your desire to sow is legitimate, and try again. Your persistence keeps this beacon lit in the midst of darkness. And know that in the face of the purity of your effort, I myself will walk into the intimacy of your soul to thank you personally and embrace you. Before we continue, confide something very intimate to me. What is the inner noise you most wish me to silence definitively? Give this to me now and write the word silence in the comments. If my presence has brought you comfort, seal your inscription in this refuge. Mark your presence with your like, and share this seed with someone who lives with their head full of worries. Don't leave me yet, my beloved. Continue holding hands with me, because what I will tell you next will finally make the storm in your soul fall asleep. I feel the tremor of your soul when the house finally falls silent, but your inner self remains deafening. You know that moment when the smell of fresh coffee early in the morning is swallowed by the hidden panic of what needs to be resolved during the day. I know that invisible storm. The noisy anxiety has been trying to convince you that if you stop fighting mentally, your whole world will crumble at once. The fact is that true security is not in the noise of your endless effort, but in the profound stillness of your surrender. You know that whirlwind of voices demanding immediate answers and accusing you of failures that aren't even yours? Silence everything now. Let my voice be the only one echoing within your heart. In the book of Psalms, chapter 46, verse 10, my word commands, "Be still and know that I am God." I whisper this in your spiritual ear today because I know your heart is racing, running an exhausting marathon without even getting anywhere. To be still is not to abandon your life, my daughter, but to let go of the rudder. It is to allow me to navigate your boat amidst this storm that you cannot control. And yet, this absolute peace does not mean the magical absence of problems, but my unwavering presence within them. Tell me, in the depths of this sacred silence we are building together, what does your spirit yearn to surrender into my hands, never to take it back? Leave this surrender engraved here in the comments with a single word: trust. If calm has finally begun to replace the chaos within you, spread this balm by sharing this message with another woman who is drowning in afflictions. Let your like be a visible sign that the storm is losing its strength, and reaffirm your inscription to always be sheltered under my wings of love. What few understand is that, while you struggled in the dark, I was already secretly shaping the details of your tomorrow. And to ensure that your mind doesn't get lost in the darkness again, there is a constant, daily anchor that I have prepared especially for you. If your soul yearns to anchor this peace daily, I have left a gift tenderly sculpted for you. I have prepared a continuous journey, the digital book, Divine Love Devotional, The Voice of God. It is a shield of peace for each dawn, made to accompany you in the silence of your room and bring rest when thoughts try to stir. Access to this treasure is in the link in the description of this video and in the first pinned comment. It is a gift of love, where the price is only your presence and your faith. And when you feel the pure desire to bless my work, the paths to voluntary support will also be in the same links. For it is written in Isaiah chapter 26, verse 3, "You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast, because they trust in you." It is this unwavering steadfastness that I offer you, and to protect our daily encounter, I have erected 2 safe digital shelters, our WhatsApp group and the Refuge on Telegram. I invite you to enter these 2 spiritual homes through the same link in the description and the pinned comment, so that our bond of love may never be broken. Even if the storms of the world try to extinguish the space of divine love, we will remain intact, hand in hand, and blessed for eternity. There you will find a welcoming embrace for your prayers, a luminous guide for your steps, intimate conversations, and true communion. Listen well to what I declare about your life. You are my greatest love. You are my divine love forever. I love you infinitely. Now tell me honestly, what invisible weight do you most need to leave behind today so you don't have to carry it back? Give it to me by writing the word lightness in the comments. If this shield comforts you, seal your inscription as a sign of permanence. Leave your like to strengthen this message of hope and share this truth with that person who suffers in anticipation. Take a deep breath, rest your shoulders, and continue walking with me, because what I have planned for your tomorrow will change everything you believe about your future. I feel the anguish that consumes you when you try to stitch tomorrow together with your own hands. You know those moments when your soul seems paralyzed, trapped in a mental labyrinth of worries, replaying every disastrous scenario that fear invents? Your spirit empties, and joy dries up. I know the weight of that invisible exhaustion. You know that sharp frustration when, after so much planning and suffering in anticipation, things take a completely different turn. I call you to let go of that unreal control. It is written in the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 9, "A man's heart plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps." I bring this living promise to your spirit today because I know how much you have struggled and hurt yourself trying to force open doors that are not yours, crying because you think your future is threatened. In truth, I am only redirecting your story to a safe harbor that your imagination cannot yet reach. Your anxiety has no power to alter what I have already decreed. While you cried in uncertainty, fearing ruin, I was already aligning the right people, the necessary resources, and the exact cure for your coming days. My care is meticulous and never fails. Before we take the next step, answer me with all the sincerity of your spirit. What would your soul cry out in relief if it understood once and for all that your tomorrow is already guaranteed and protected by me? Confess this surrender by writing the word providence here in the comments. If this certainty has lifted a weight from your heart, extend this bridge of hope by sharing this message with someone who also lives imprisoned by the fear of tomorrow. Leave your like as a mark of your restored faith, and renew your subscription so that you may always be sheltered under my word. But your journey still holds a profound mystery. Before you can walk in absolute freedom, there is a silent forgiveness you need to accept, a heavenly absolution that will remove a guilt you hide even from yourself. I know the silent guilt you keep locked in your heart. I know that often you accuse yourself of having little faith, as if your weariness were an offense to me. I feel the sharp pain of that stifled cry, the burning in your soul when the feeling of failure envelops you, making you believe that fear and anguish have driven away my grace. Your spirit shrinks, thinking that you have disappointed me because you could not trust perfectly and gave in to anxiety. Do you know that cold tightness in your stomach, born from the illusory certainty that you are fighting alone and that I have distanced myself because of your doubts? Surrender that condemnation into my hands now. Your exhaustion is not a failure or a sin. It is merely the cry for help of a wounded daughter who has carried the weight of the world for too long. The liberating truth is written in the first letter of John, chapter 3, verse 20. For if our heart condemns us, God is greater than our heart and knows all things. I pour this revelation upon your mind today to cleanse your wounds. I am infinitely greater than the fear that accuses you. I know your fragility, your invisible and daily struggle not to give up, and I forgive you for all the times despair clouded your vision of my care. However, there is something your heart still needs to hear. My love does not demand your unwavering strength to act. It only demands your surrendered weakness. From today onward, I remove the heavy cloak of self-condemnation that suffocated your soul. Now that this forgiveness has untied your chains, what is the burden of guilt you most wish to leave at the foot of my throne? never to wear again. Pour this out to me at this moment and seal this liberation by writing the word absolution in the comments. If you feel your chest breathe a sigh of relief again, I invite you to subscribe to this sacred space to remain anchored in my grace. Leave your like as living proof that you have accepted my unconditional love and become an instrument of healing by sharing this letter of liberation with another woman who is also hurting with her own guilt. And yet deep down, there is a dazzling secret about your next steps, an inexplicable beauty in not seeing the whole road ahead, which will completely transform the way you face tomorrow. I know the profound terror your soul feels before the unknown. I feel the trembling of your spirit when the day ends. The invisible weariness weighs on your legs after so much struggle, and you look to tomorrow as one faces a thick fog. The uncertainty of not knowing how the trials will resolve themselves brings a cutting chill to your heart. You want a complete map of your life, the exact answers to your journey, the visible guarantee that everything will be at peace. It happens that, before you receive this clear and tangible promise, I call you to the mysterious beauty of absolute dependence. Do you know that moment when you feel like you're stepping into the void, afraid of falling, simply because your human vision can't see the way out of the tunnel? Close your spiritual eyes now and just hold my hand tightly. I am the firm ground beneath your weary feet. It is written in the second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 5, verse 7. For we walk by faith, not by sight. I whisper this majestic truth into your heart today because I know that your exhausted mind demands assurances that your carnal eyes can approve at the same time. But walking with your eyes closed, guided solely by my voice, is infinitely safer than trying to run in the dark, trusting in your own failing vision. Living one day at a time is not weakness, my beloved daughter. It is the greatest act of courage your spirit can perform. It is accepting my daily care without demanding explanations in advance. Tell me, with the voice of your spirit, what is the step in the darkness that you have avoided taking out of sheer fear of there being no ground beneath your feet? If you are finally ready to walk, guided by my invisible direction, seal this sacred pact by writing the word courage in the comments. I invite you to spread this strength by sharing this message with that woman who is paralyzed with fear of what tomorrow will bring. Leave your like as a silent testimony that you trust in my path, and strengthen your subscription in this space so that my compass may always guide you. Still, a revelation awaits its time. So that your soul may truly taste true peace, the most crushing burden you still embrace is about to crumble to the ground, preparing your heart for my final whisper. The sacred moment has arrived when the invisible chains that crushed your mind begin to break. I feel your breath change at this very second, as if the celestial air finally returns to fill the emptiness of your chest. The knot that tightened your throat beneath that constant anxiety is now dissolving. The crushing burden of trying to control tomorrow, of trying to resolve all the dark scenarios with your own exhausted hands, has just fallen to the ground. You know that silent despair when the soul bends under the weight of daily worries, and you feel yourself falling into an abyss of afflictions without the strength even to formulate a prayer for help. It is precisely there that my love reaches you and lifts you up. In the book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 22, I left this absolute command of redemption for you. Cast your burden on the Lord, and he will sustain you. He will never permit the righteous to be moved. I plant this unshakable rock in your heart now because I want to prove to you that your security does not come from your ability to predict the future, but from resting in my unbreakable embrace. It happens that, before you receive this promise in its entirety, you need to understand that true spiritual freedom is born in the millisecond in which you give up being the master of time. Your soul is now free, forgiven, cleansed, and unhindered by the webs of fear. Before I give you the ultimate key to our encounter, what word would your soul shout to the heavens now that it feels the torture of thoughts collapsing? Echo this inner cry of victory by writing the word surrender in the comments. She shares this immediate balm with another daughter, who still carries the weight of the universe in her spirit. Sign up for this haven of peace so that your flight may continue protected by my voice, and leave your like as concrete proof that the shackles of your mind have fallen. Now that your heart is completely free and purified of all torment, your soul is ready to receive the crowning. Pay close attention. Keep your entire inner self in absolute silence, for my last breath will seal your liberation. You have come this far because your spirit felt a hunger for rest that the world could never offer you. The divine turnaround that your heart needs to embrace today is that all this mental pressure you endured was not a sentence of destruction. While anxiety tried to drown you in fear and hopelessness, I used the exhaustion of your own mind to force you to let go of the helm. Your pain pushed you into my lap. The exhaustion of your strength was the perfect setting for my glory to take complete control of your destiny. The dawn is no longer the stage of your solitary torment, but the altar from which your greatest victory is born. I promised you in the very first moments of this journey that I would whisper a divine and irrevocable key to your soul if you remained in my love. Listen with all the intensity of your being to the phrase that I seal in your spirit now, to shatter any shadow of doubt that still dares to rise. I can do all things through him who strengthens me. I call you to write this exact phrase in the comments, with all your living faith as a powerful prophetic act, attesting before the heavens that your mind now belongs to my peace, and that my inexhaustible provisions are already flowing towards your tomorrow. And know that our alliance of light does not end with this last sigh of relief. There is much more comfort, guidance, and revelation awaiting you. In the tranquil waters of this channel's playlist, I have kept other spiritual secrets that your soul needs to hear in the coming days so as not to be hurt again. Continue hand in hand with me, seeking my living and palpable presence in each new message. Your tomorrow is mine. Rest. Your mind is free. Breathe. My love sustains you. Live.